Hello everyone and welcome to the show. It's been a while. We're back together on an architectural journey. At least I hope it will be the most stable ever. So as you can see, we have a bit of a wider screen now and it looks kind of cool, right? So the setup has been improved, the English level has been improved as well. At least I hope it's about good and at least about decent. And today, as I posted the poll on Twitter yesterday, I asked you guys for your opinion. What should I record first? And actually showcasing a project one. It was a pretty tight race with playing survival on acid, if I remember right. So you guys have no chill. It was really fucking close. Please don't make me do that. I don't intend to end up at the police station, but like, I get it. It would be like a fun video, right? So today we are taking a peek at the Arctesia project that I finished last year, and actually that was a pretty long run. So let's take a look at this majestic city. So basically the pitch. This is a post-apocalyptical, yeah, nice pronunciation, boy. City that takes place on another planet, probably, or a very decayed and old Earth, like the remains of humanity or some shit, you know? And basically, the idea is that this is a safe, put that like in some sort of context, a safe community that is governed by some sort of dictatorship, and that basically, takes care of people as long as they don't ask too many questions. Yeah. So the project is finished actually, but the map has been already. I mean, the actual server project has been cancelled, but I think the map is worth taking a look at, even though, like, as you can see in the purple blocks, there are a few assets missing. Like, these were places where you could place containers for people to live, but the project got cancelled, so I basically I didn't properly finish the map. So yeah, right now we are at the train station, possibly the place where people will appear the first time. Like, they won't have to run down the whole tracks like I did, but they'll probably spawn inside of this. I mean, according to the players. And I hope the video is not stuttering, because right now my FPS aren't too good. It's a widescreen, like, kind of a problem. I'm about at 30 FPS with the recording, which is not too bad. It's still better than Fraps. But yeah, alright, OBS is just saving my life right now. So yeah, the players will spawn in this building over there, and basically just have to walk through this sort of, sort of safe route, and they will arrive in a city where you have bandits, you have policemen, and everything is a bit merged together between the random citizen and the actual players. So I thought to understand that in the server there's like some sort of plugin that makes all of this live, so they seemed really fucking hyped when I showed them the map. So let's have a little tour, and please just ignore this, just the couple places where it's not really perfect finished, you know. So actually the real goal of this map was to focus on the exterior and on giving a true urban experience to the players, and not too focused on the interiors, which they were going to furnish with their own mods. So of course I don't have those mods installed, since the map was designed for 1.7.10 and in a custom version. So yeah, let's just take a look at all of this. So here we are in the downtown, in the industrial complex, like where most factories are, and eventually like a couple dispensaries of like interesting matter, yeah, radioactive and stuff. And basically here we are just close to the most dangerous place to be, the black market. And in this black market we have a couple, oops, I'm just like way too fast when I'm flying. We have some sort of, fishy entry, the black market, and when you enter you have all these little shops here that you can buy some illegal shit that the dictatorship is not really, you know, into. But they don't know it's here. Like, you know, it's just some sort of poor looking neighborhood anyway, you know. So around the city you have this big kind of V symbol repeated numerous times, and actually this is the logo of the city and the server as well. It is symbolizing the victory of the dictatorship over the dangers of nature, because you can imagine, like, in these wastelands it's like super dangerous. So in this city, what do we have in terms of composition? We have a very poor kind of neighborhood circling around a quite rich center. So sorry, the map has to load, it's pretty slow, but it's also quite big. You have this sort of slum going all the way around, completely wrapping the center, the rich center, with this massive dictatorship tower in the center. I'm just zooming in for you to see the whole map loaded. So this massive tower, like a very phallic symbol, like the dictators has a big weenie, you know. It's just being like some sort of throne, some sort of symbol of dominance over the people living under. And as you can see, the houses look really to scale with the building. Like, the building is really huge and the houses look very tiny, even though they're not actually that tiny, you know. So you have this sort of duality between the massive structures symbolizing power and dominance, basically over the dominated. Right, so besides that, you can see some interesting buildings standing out. So first of all, you have this nuclear plant here, which is the source of power of the whole city. I think you might have noticed also these little wind turbines over there, which are just like for good looks, basically. If with a city of this size, if you have a nuclear plant, you do not need little wind turbines. Like, they produce like nothing. You need 30,000, I'm gonna say, wind turbines to replace one nuclear reactor. That's approximately the number I have in mind, you know. It's approximately that. The smoke didn't load properly, but yeah, okay. So you have one reactor here and two cooling towers, which actually makes no sense, but like whatever, it's for symbolism. And so most of the players will actually have to work in this nuclear plant and be like efficient citizens by visiting this one sometimes. Like, they have to work. In other terms, you also have the mines that are these sort of crests, you know, with minerals here that they can harvest on the server and get paid for it. So it's like quite dangerous, you know, like if they fall they lose some HP and stuff, but you get what I mean. Like, it's the risks of working in a dictatorship that doesn't really care about you. So that's why we have all these cranes, which have been really criticized, by the way, by you know, the community, but they make sense to me, so I just keep them. Also, so yeah, we said, yeah, there are like some buildings in the center, the rich center, which are kind of separated. Like, there's some kind of step that is made between this and the slum. And actually the people living in the slum have chances to reach this stage of society. They just have to work hard enough. That's the idea of the server. And as you can see on the walls, and you have a lot of slogans, like you have victory written here, you have pobeda on this, pobeda actually, on this wall in Russian, saying victory. And then you have this forever hinting that the city is like been around for a while, you know. So propaganda actually helps holding on to the system. So yeah, more about the architecture. The buildings are made for a roleplay server, so they have to be really expressive. They have to reflect the actual purpose. That's why the old building just looks like a jerry can, you know. The prison just looks like the stereotype of a prison, and the hospital just looks like the stereotype of an hospital, you know, like very white, very clean, very, like, you know, sleek looking. So everyone seeing this building is like, this is either the hospital or some medical stuff, like, you know, a laboratory or whatever. All right, and of course this is like the town hall, and you know, you get the point. So each building has been like really designed to reflect its function, except this one, which is the HQ of the militia, like the police of the city, which is just like legit made to reflect some kind of, you know, image of the massive tower over there, in another way, you know, like expressing power, but not like crushingly strong over the neighborhood. So, you know, it's a dangerous building to be around, but in general it's like fitting in the whole city like any other building. And basically in the design process of the map, we had some sort of synergy between the clean streets and these little darker areas where traffic is actually hiding. You have a network of underground tunnels which connect some key locations. So just to give you an example, I think one of the most interesting ones is this library here. You have an entrance, so it's meant to be for the resistance, you know. You have some sort of secret door here. I mean, it's not really secret, but in a city of this size, noticing this is pretty tough. And when you go down there, you have some sort of, you know, bunker looking underground. So I'm not gonna explore it because it's actually quite boring. I didn't put much effort into that, so let's just skip it, you know. So what is actually detailed in the city is the whole system of electricity. Every single house is connected to the power lines, and the power lines just cross the whole city, like from the nuclear plant to the other side basically. And there is a power line that is leaving, suspecting that there's something else outside, you know. So it gives some hints on the people playing that there is something next, something coming later, because it was envisioned that the server would boom with this map and eventually find a second version of itself later. So yeah, it's kind of a failure. It's not really my fault. I'm gonna admit the delay was not really respected. I was a bit late on delivering the map, but the server project just died because of the managers just, you know, not getting along together anymore. So yeah, basically what happens on 90% of the French Minecraft server projects, they just die out because the two managers, one wants to pay, the other one doesn't want to work. So there's always some kind of fine for that, you know. Like it's kind of weird. Okay, so as promised, I showcased this project. I hope I didn't show it for too long. If you want to have a deeper look, you can always ask me in the link, I mean in the in the comment section, to give you a tour basically. Since I don't have a lot of subscribers yet, I think I could do that for you if you have time when I do. So yeah, that could be an interesting thing to do. And if you already have the rights on the entire server as well, of course, I mean, you can always just /warp TP or whatever to Octesium. It's just gonna be in the link of the description. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, and next time I will spend a bit more time on the actual content of the map, but this one is just so huge I had to show it as a whole. It looks very nice, very decent with the shader as well. So yeah, if you want to give it a try, I surely will in a cinematic soon, which should be coming on the channel, but I'm not giving too many spoilers yet. It was Kay for my own channel this time, and I'll see you later in the next video.